How we doing, my beautiful people out there? It's your boy Swoozy on behalf of Awakened Entertainment here with Carter Collections, and just wanted to make a short blog today discussing some things that really hit home recently. For all those watching this that know me, I'm sure you know about the two young men from our area that passed away, and for all those who don't know me personally that's watching this video, two kids that I associated with. They weren't the best friends that I've had, but I know these two young men. I grew up with them, and they recently passed away in a car accident. Now, the theme of this video isn't going to kind of circulate around those two gentlemen because I'm not in a position to speak on their behalf, and I don't want people, to get offended as if I think I know them on that level to speak on their behalf. And, I send my condolences to the families, and I send my love to everybody involved with that. But on a broader spectrum, I just kind of wanted to speak about death in general and how I see a lot of young, people kind of misdirecting their energy when it comes to death and getting lost in the grieving, which while you may have that, and I won't take anything away from you, it's obvious we're human and we're going to grieve, but so many times I feel we don't learn the lesson. And in this particular case with these two kids, I'm not by any means trying to judge them or say they did something wrong or anything like that, but I just want to speak on the fact that as simple as it is, it's the energy that you are operating on in life will always be the energy that you get back. And it's almost like, imagine like life is just echoing who you're being with no judgment. So it's not like, in my opinion anyway, I don't believe that this God that we all believe in is some vengeful God that watches you every second and punishes you for your actions. I believe it's more or less life is reflecting who you are back to you in each moment. So in the case of these two kids, I feel maybe they were misdirected in their pursuits, or maybe they were out of balance with who they truly are, and they were doing things that really weren't representative of them. Because as I said, I wasn't best friends with them, but I kind of knew them on a level to where when I remembered them, I remember them for being good people. You know what I mean? Deep down, I knew who those kids were, and I knew who they could be, or the potential they had to be. And I just kind of wanted to make this video to express to everybody that death is our teacher. For the ones that are still alive, it is your teacher. It's for you. Whoever's watching this, that death is for you, so that you can look at that and learn from that and kind of think in your own head, okay, what were they doing to lead them down that path that I can remove myself from? What kind of thoughts were they having? What kind of actions were they taking that led them to that? And not saying that that accident happened on purpose or that they deserve to die by any means, but I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, I don't believe in accidents. I believe that the energy you're operating on will always attract back to you. So whoever was in that, I can't, once again, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to know everything, because that's not the case. I'm not trying to sound like a know-it-all. I'm just speaking from my opinion. This is merely my opinion. So I'm trying to lend that to y'all and share that with y'all. And if you could take anything away from that, then that's beautiful, because I feel what I'm saying makes sense. If you try, not to analyze it too much or judge it and just feel what I'm saying, it makes so much sense, because to the people that did know those kids, they did understand that they weren't acting to their full potential. They weren't being their true self. And I say they weren't being their true self because I'm not trying to judge them in any way. I'm not trying to say they were wrong, because there is no right or wrong. It's just what you are putting out is what you're going to get back. And I felt, especially in my hometown, I see a lot of kids that they just want to almost get too upset over the death and think about, oh, I used to know him and this is horrible, almost as if they're taking the death and personalizing it, like, oh, this happened to me, my friend died, why did this happen, why, rather than being introspective and kind of taking a step back and saying, whoa, what were they doing to lead them down that path? What things were they acting out in life that caused them to have that happen? And I just feel that's a very, very important theme, because a lot of times I feel that death is just so misconstrued in our society, and we have this idea that it's just an abomination and that person is just gone. And I don't believe they are gone. I believe that we are consciousness that will always exist. This form may leave us, this personal body may leave us, but the essence of who we are will remain. So don't get too trapped in the idea that those people are gone, because they're not. They can never be gone. The memory, the energy, the things that they showed you will forever live through you. So I just feel I wanted to make this video to kind of shortly talk about why we need to learn from death, rather than mourn and get lost in the sadness of it, because it's always going to be a little bit sad when somebody you know leaves us, because you're gonna miss them, you're gonna miss the idea of who they were. But you need to realize greatly that they are never going to die. They are not dead, because death, you automatically think they're gone, they're never coming back. But they are you. They're here. Their energy will never leave, because that's what they were, energy. And I just feel that's the main focus of why I made this. I just wanted to send that out to you guys and kind of talk about that on a general level, not even specifying that death, anything is meant to be a reflection to you to live your life. Don't get so lost in it that you're now in a low frequency state, because that should give you all that more motivation if you knew those individuals, to live for them, to allow who you thought the potential they could be to live through you, and embrace that, rather than getting lost in the grieving. Which, like I said before, there's nothing wrong with grieving. You can have that if you may, but learn the lesson too. Don't let the lesson be lost, because then these things will keep happening. If you're a young kid and you're watching this right now, understand that, as cliche as it sounds, you can do what you want with your life. Just don't get caught into the simple, things. Don't chase simple things. Don't worry about nothing but what you want out of life, and do that with love. Don't feel like you gotta be in this, dog eat dog world and everyone's against you, because they're not. The only competition you have is you. And I don't want to, move too far away from the topic of death, but I'm just trying to speak in general terms about life and how death is meant to show us to live our life. So if there's one central theme you could take away from this, I just want to let you guys know that when a death occurs, or when you lose a loved one, it's meant to, in a sense, show you to appreciate life and to live each moment to the fullest, so that you don't go back and regret, and you don't go back and think, oh, what if I'd have acted nice to him this time, or what if I'd have been there for him this time. When you're living in the moment, which is what death is supposed to show you, there's no regret. So that is why I believe death is our greatest teacher. And I just wanted to kind of share those views with y'all and give you a different perspective on, this horrible thing we call death, because it's not so horrible at the end of the day. In my opinion, those two individuals are fine right now. They're good. So if you're mourning, I believe the mourning is for you, because that death has reminded you that you have placed limits on yourself, and you're now mourning the idea that you're limited, and you're upset at that. You're remembering that, man, I could be doing much more with my life. So the death is for you. It's to remind you to live your life. So I just wanted to touch on that briefly, and I hope that you all can relate. If you love music, I feel like there's songs out there that relate to this. One that comes to mind is the Forever Young by Jay-Z. In that song, he's talking about living his life to the point where what he does will last forever. So he's forever young. He will never die, because what he has left behind will always exist. And if you really think that and internalize it, that's so true. You can never die whenever you are a beautiful person. And even if you weren't a beautiful person, quote unquote, you still can never die, because your memory will always exist. So I just wanted to, like I said, touch on that with y'all, and I hope you can vibe with me and feel what I was trying to say. Weigh in, give your opinions. We're going to be doing these blogs a lot more. We're going to be hitting y'all with a lot of stuff to just get you to think, and that's what we're all about. I'm not saying that I know any more than you, and I'm not trying to school anybody or act like I know anything. I'm just trying to share. That's all I want to do. I want to share my views with you, and hopefully get you intrigued enough to kind of share your views with me, because that's what it's about. We got to start interacting and just being there for each other, because that's what I believe life's about. So, you know what I mean? I hope you guys can weigh in and check this out and really listen to it. I don't want to talk your ear off, because I know a lot of people have short attention spans, but anyway, man, I'm sure I'll see y'all soon. Swoozy signing out. Carter Collections. Much love, y'all. RIP to those that we lost.